84. 8 and 4, 84. How are we? Safe and well, I hope. Wednesday again, hump day. Now, full disclosure, I am recording this on the glorious day on God's green earth of June 22nd, also known as a Tuesday. You know? You'll be listening to this from Wednesday onwards. Some of you may be listening to this in the future. There could be people who are not even born listening to this. Isn't that a fucking mental thing to think about? You know? Technology that exists now. The ability to put down thoughts, ideas, conversations into podcast form, into recordings, whether it be, you know, stand-up comedy albums, whether it be just normal audio recordings, whether it be things like this, things like, you know, podcasts. I've often thought, think of the stories that your grandparents might have had that they would never tell you. You know, ideas, conversations that go on that you'll never be part of. Whereas now there's the opportunity for generations to enjoy this content. You know, how will the world change? I'm in a position now where, like most of you, probably struggling to find content to consume, whether it be film, television shows, even comedy, that is of a level that is, you know, decent. Because everything that's been made nowadays is absolute a lot of shite. So it is. Will there be a time where, in the future, the current content is being put out, you know, there's people going, God, this is bollocks, I'm going to hark back to the old days. Maybe they'll dig out episode 84 of the Scott Gibson Show. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, I hope you're safe and well. The whole point in making the disclosure about the date is because tonight the mighty Scotland play against the Croats, the Croatians. They live an island out in Croatia, and I'm nervous, man. You know, obviously I'm going to watch the game. Obviously, my English girlfriend will be banished to another room, and she can watch the English bastards play their last game against the Czech Republic. But it's we just got to score, man. You know, I'm not sick of talking about Scotland, obviously not, but I'm done getting my hopes up. You know, I think COVID excuse me. I think COVID has just knocked me so much in the last 18 months that I cannot get excited about things anymore because I don't know if they're going to happen. Every time I start recording, my throat plays up. And I'd got myself so excited about Scotland before the tournament had started. And then after the first game, now yes, we played well, right? But I just feel as if we do the thing that Scotland does all the time. Whoever our opposition is, we mirror their level. That's what Scotland is. That's why, you know, that's what Scottish people are. That's why Scottish people are loved across the fucking planet. There isn't a corner of the globe we haven't touched. There isn't a group, a race, a creed that doesn't fucking love the Scots, and the Scots love them back because we are a mirror. We mirror people. That's what we do. Now, yes, it's a Celtic thing, right? People love the Irish, people love the Welsh, right, wherever they go. But the Irish and the Welsh are themselves. The Irish don't change wherever they go. They're the same people. And you either love them or you don't. And the Welsh are the exact same. You either love them or you don't. But everyone loves the Scots because we mirror people. Wherever we are, whatever part of the world we're in, we adapt to that situation. We adapt ourselves to those people. We mirror them. The way they speak, their ideas, their thoughts, we mirror that. That is the ability of the Scots. That's what we are. Maybe that is why we don't really have a no, not going to say we don't have an identity of our own, but maybe that's why we're always so quick to fucking jump down on other people who become successful Scots. We're always like, yeah, fucking, that cunt needs to come down a peg or two. And on the national team, we're stretching this fucking idea a bit much here, but on the national team, we mirror our opposition. We've done it my entire lifetime. If we're playing Brazil, we mirror them. We play well and we get beat. Argentina, Germany, it doesn't matter, any fucking team you want, we mirror them, we play well and we lose. 10-man Luxembourg, the Faroe Islands. Even if we're playing a shitey team, we mirror their ability, and in the end, we fall fucking short. Now, we qualified. But can we score a goal? Can we fuck? And that's the biggest problem, man. That's the biggest problem, and especially international football at any level. If you can't score a goal, you're fucked. Doesn't matter how good your defence is, doesn't matter how well set up you are, well organised, well drilled, how fit you are, doesn't matter. If you cannot put the ball in the fucking net, you're screwed. And right now, that is our problem. It still blows my mind to think that of every professional league in this planet, we cannot find 2 or 3 decent Scottish strikers. Now I understand we've had injuries. And I've said it before, I would have Lee Griffiths, but Lee Griffiths is injured, like I said. So what you got to do? So all I can hope is that tonight, 8 p.m, when I sit down to watch the game, I hope and pray that we have won, have scored, have played well, and are through. But this needs to be the start of, things to come for Scotland. I hope we do not disappear into the wilderness again for another 20 odd years. I hope this is the start of us qualifying for tournaments. And maybe after, another tournament, another 2 tournaments, maybe we'll get confidence on the international stage. Maybe players won't be as nervous, if that's the right word, on playing international tournaments. And maybe the goals will come, but I'm telling you, if there is, I love Steve Clarke. I think he's an incredible manager. I really do. I have no faith in the SFA at all as an organisation, not one fucking bit. But they should be selling the family gold to keep that man. Whatever he wants, whatever his desire is, whatever plans he wants to put in place, whatever suggestions he makes, they need to fucking bend over backwards. They basically need to say, whatever your vision is for Scottish football, consider it done, and then go away and find the money needed to make it happen. Because I don't think the SFA realise how lucky they are to have somebody like Steve Clarke. I think he's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, hopefully this is the start of it. Hopefully this is the start of Scotland qualifying for tournaments being a normal thing, And I'm not going to sit and go. I'm not going to do it in England. We should be winning tournaments. We shouldn't be winning tournaments at all. Our goal should be to qualify from the group. That should be our goal, And I think if we can do that, then is that maybe asking too much? Maybe our first goal should be, to qualify, right? We've done that. And our second goal should be to score or win a game. Maybe we do need to take it in steps. Maybe this idea of, we qualify for a tournament and then suddenly we're going to get to the semi-finals. And again, I maybe just got myself all caught up in the fucking hype of it and believed the media for a second and started to look at the team on paper rather than on the pitch. And actually, I generally did think we were going to get out of the group. I didn't think we were going to have a problem getting out of the group. I thought we were going to win our first game. I really did. I'd always said we would draw with England. And I thought we were going to finish with 7 points. That's what I thought. I thought we were going to beat the Czech Republic and Croatia. And I thought we were going to finish with 7 points. I thought we were going to finish second in the group. Possibly maybe even come first. That's what I thought was going to happen. And I was 100% convinced that was going to happen. And then 40 minutes into our first international endeavours. And then I realised, it's Scotland. It's actually Scotland that I'm talking about. So fuck knows. Maybe I'm setting my sights too high. Maybe I am. Maybe we need to go a wee bit lower in our expectations. Maybe the expectations need to be, score a fucking goal. How bad is it that your international, your team's expectation is just to score a fucking goal? Oh, but that's Scotland. That's Scotland for you, eh? Scotland. So I hopefully World Cup qualifications and then another tournament. World Cup would be nice. It would be nice to have Scotland at a tournament where let's just adjust that mic, shall we? It'd be nice to have Scotland at a tournament where the tournament is open. You know, in the sense that the world's open. I don't like the fact that everybody's playing in different countries. I don't like it. It doesn't give you a level playing field. People are playing in different conditions. Some people are playing with a full stadium. Some people are playing with 5,000 people in an 80,000 stadium. Some people are playing in fucking 32-degree heat. So I don't like it. I am concerned as well because I don't want this to be a blueprint for future tournaments. I mean, if there's talks of some fucking Saudi Middle East fund coming in to have an international tournament every year, you've only got to look at the fucking idiots that run UEFA and FIFA now. I mean, those things, as much as they try and instill this idea that they are the gatekeepers of football, money talks, for want of a better word, and all these fuckers care about is money. So if this is crowned as a success, which I imagine it will be, you have to be slightly concerned that this may then be used as an argument for future international tournaments where countries will be given a group rather than a tournament. So you may have 4 host nations, each of whom is given one group. And then you may even have a further nations awarded further stages in the tournaments. Who knows? But I hope not, because as much as it's exciting to have Scotland in the Euros again, or any international tournament, it still doesn't feel like it's an international tournament because there isn't that kind of hub, and there isn't that coverage of all fans that are playing mixed in. So hopefully when we go back to normality, we go back to World Cup, then it goes back to one country hosting the tournament, but we shall see. But I just hope we can score, man. I just want to cheer a Scottish goal. I just want to fucking cheer a Scottish goal. But aye, anyway. Enough football chat, man. Because I'll be sitting here fucking talking all day about football. And we can't be having that, We can't be having that. So, what have we got here? So we've got some notes. Let's look at these notes now. What the fuck am I talking about? Well, before we do move on, there hasn't been much of a backlash yet about the Scotland fans in London. Now, I'm sure we've all seen the hilarious videos of the gentleman with the thumb penis being led away by the police. I did see one that was quite good where there's a massive group in one of the London stations, I think it's King's Cross, and the police are kind of coming out, and the police are just getting soaked in bevy, and I thought, fucking great banter. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of fallout from those numbers, because obviously there's no social distancing. Everybody was mixing in together. I mean, at this point, is anybody really social distancing now? I don't know. Interesting that not heard much from Her Lordship Sturgeon. Not that in any way I am, condoning the gatherings and the fracas from the Rangers fans. But certainly when we had 60,000 Scots down in London, not much seems to be getting made of that. Possibly because they've single-handedly fucking saved the pub trade in England. I mean, maybe that's how we should make money for Scotland. Maybe we should be outsourcing our football hooligans. I mean, if we are led to believe, which I still struggle, that people who sell fucking booze in the UK cannot make money. That blows my mind. If your pub, is struggling, then maybe you get in touch with the Scottish government, and we send, a couple of thousand football fans down to drink your pub dry, give you a cash boost. maybe that could be the done thing. I did like it that a lot of people couldn't get into pubs in London. I mean, English people, Londoners, because all the Scots had gone on and booked up all the slots to the pub. So people were just opening up their boozers, and thousands of fucking mental Scottish football fans are turning up. Christ, you're in for a shift that day, aren't you? But interesting that nothing's been made of that. God, this episode's all over the place so far. We've only just started. So the Delta variant seems to be on the rise. I am double vax now. Going out punching pensioners, taking a shite in the street, not a care in the world. It seems as if the news channels are back to giving you the daily updates on your phone of confirmed cases and death. It does seem as if the death toll's rising again, so who knows where it's going to go. I was speaking to a venue yesterday, another venue, another tour date, pushed back to 2020 because they still have no green light, or actually no correspondence at all from the Scottish Government as to what they can and cannot do within the venue. So it was only going to give us about a month and a half to try and punt dates, so we just moved them again to 2022. And as the conversation I was having yesterday about it, it does feel to me as though I think the likelihood is that we're going to go back, we're going to take a step back before we go fully forward, if that makes sense, before the end of this year. That's what I think is going to happen. But again, if anybody, we should all know by now that there's no point in trying to double guess what's going to happen with COVID. There's no point. You know, because I have been proven wrong on so many fucking occasions this last 18 months. It's beyond a joke now. I'm so over getting my hopes up for anything. But it does feel as if just by the way that you try and I've said it before, to try and subjectively look at the way in which the media presents information to us, it just feels as if we are very slowly starting to get back to the way it was at the start of the very first lockdown, in that we are reporting the confirmed cases again. We're reporting the death figures again, and it's done in a way which isn't as fearful as before, because they know that a lot of, or the vast majority of people, are so far past the kind of fear stage that we can't be controlled by it anymore. But it's just interesting again to see that started up, that alert that comes from Sky News, from BBC, confirmed cases, death toll on a daily basis. That started back up again. So it does feel as if, in my humble opinion, I think we're going to take a step back before we go completely forward to Freedom Day. And obviously we're now, what, a day past, 2 days past as you listen to it. We should have had Freedom Day on the 21st of June. I mean, the fact that they're fucking even calling that Freedom Day is a joke. But yes, who knows where we'll be. So hopefully soon. I think Bojangles is going to make an announcement soon as to what England plans to do. And then I imagine, keeping with tradition, Scotland will be a week or 2 weeks behind whatever England decides to do. You know, because God forbid that we fucking actually make a decision on something and go out on our own. God forbid. God forbid something the Scottish Government actually grabs us by the bollocks and fucking makes the decision. God forbid. Let's stick to the tried and tested route, the route to freedom, of doing exactly what England does, but a week to 10 days after them, because then it still makes it look as if Scotland's made its own decision. What a lot of fucking bollocks. Anyway, hope you're safe and well. I watched a film the other night, and I was so excited by it when I saw the trailer. And then I'm trying to think of something else that I've watched recently where I was so fucking disappointed in it, to the point where, and I'm sure you've all done it, you watch something, or maybe it's just something I do. I'm hating it, right? I'm watching something and I'm hating it, or it's fucking garbage. It's shit. It's one of the worst things I've seen in a long time. But there's a voice in my head going, "You will finish this. You will finish this." Not in the hope that it gets better, or not in the hope that something happens and it turns, and I go, "Do you know what? That actually turned out all right in the end." I know it's fucking shite. I know it's shit, But I'm going, no, I'm fucking finishing this. This is no longer an enjoyable watch. This is no longer, R&R. This isn't a recreational chill out fucking session. This is now a task. This is a job. I will finish this. And that's what I did all night. And I was fucking gutted, man. Because when I first saw it, right, I think I don't know if I remember hearing about the film coming out, but I think I certainly remember someone doing an interview. I think it was Adam Driver, is that his name? I certainly remember him being on, and I want to say Graham Norton, talking about a film he done with Bill Murray. Anyway, the film is called The Dead Don't Die, right? And fucking hell, man. It's on, you can get it on Amazon Prime, you can get it on Netflix. I watched it on Netflix, and when I saw the trailer for it, now the trailer on Netflix is the wee preview bit, right? It's maybe like 10 seconds long. And it's Adam Driver and Bill Murray. And Adam Driver says to Bill Murray, you don't want to hear what I'm about to say because I think it's zombies, it's the undead, right? And I thought, okay, right, so straight away they've set the feel for it. It's a zombie movie. It's going to be fine, right? It'll be great. I don't know what's happened recently as well, that fucking everything seems to be a zombie movie. Is it just because it's easy to do? Have we not had enough zombie movies? This is why, and I'm saying it for fucking years now, the Russians need to step up, man, right? The old fucking kind of routine, the KGB, it's not scaring people anymore, right? They want zombies, they want fucking apocalypse, they want fucking global pandemics, they want fucking viruses that are airborne that kill people. This is what they want, right? The Novichok on the fucking door handle, it's not cutting it anymore, Putin. For the love of God, man. The best movies that have ever existed, and any movie you've loved in your life that's been great, it's because a fucking Russian's been a bad guy or a Nazi. No, I'm not suggesting that fucking Hitler comes back, but I'm just saying, for the love of fuck, can the Russians not do something to draw the fucking sense of the nation away from zombies in fucking the Middle East? I'm bored. It's not going to be long before we've got the zombies of Kabul or something. There'll be some American SWAT team going out to, bring back fucking plutonium or whatever the fuck it is they build bombs with. And they'll go into some desert town and like, we got to bunker down overnight. And next minute, oh no, there are zombies. That's where we are next. We're weeks away from a zombie movie set in fucking Iraq. Weeks away. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's working on that now. I don't even like zombies. They're boring, right? We've seen zombies. They've done everything. This is how. If something is exciting, you shouldn't have to keep recreating it and adding to it, right? People were bored of zombies, so they went, well, why don't we make them really fast, like the pure fucking Linford Christie speedrunners? Oh, brilliant! So, film's called The Dead Don't Die. And when I saw the cast, right? So, film starts and it's just running through the cast, right? Bill Murray, undoubted a great, right? A god. Adam Driver, Steve Buscemi. And when I saw Steve Buscemi, I thought, in the name of fuck, what a film this is going to be. Danny Glover as well. What's her name? Taylor Swinton, is it? Tilda Swinton, who's a weird woman, but she plays the weird person well. Iggy Pop's in it. Selena Gomez, who I don't particularly like, but she's in it as well. Luca Sabat. Who else might you know? That's really much for the big players. Anyway, Rosie Perez plays a small part in it as well. When I saw her, I thought she's a better. She's a great. I think Rosie Perez is a great actress, but she probably deserves a bigger part in it than she had. She just played a news reporter that was very small part of the movie. But then again, I imagine Bill Murray's costing you a fucking fortune, and Steve Buscemi, so they probably couldn't afford anybody else. But the point being this. It's awful. It's a truly awful film. And it's almost, in a way, it's almost quite impressive that you can take a film that has Bill Murray, Danny Glover, and Steve Buscemi in it and make it a shit film, but somehow they've made it a shit film. It's meant to be a dark comedy, right? And the comedic side of it, the comedy side, the jokes, the lines, they're so weak. It's almost laughable in a way. A couple of times I had to pause it and I says to the missus, like, that was maybe the joke, by the way, and then like said the line that was said in the film back to her, and she went, all right, that's how awful it is that people aren't even picking up on the jokes. The jokes are so poor. Is this just the way that Hollywood is now? That these, that they're just too afraid to kind of offend anyone or say anything that might get them into some kind of bother, so they just have this really fucking mundane, meek, mild, just pathetic throwaway little gags. So poor. The story basically being that there is some kind of I don't know what you would call it. There's an event, a cataclysmic event that knocks the Earth somehow off its axis, and then for some reason from that, the fucking the dead rise in this small town where Bill Murray and Adam Driver are the sheriffs, the cops, and it's just really poor, really poor. There's a kind of hermit guy that lives in the woods. Somehow he seems to be avoiding getting attacked or eaten by the zombies. Don't understand why. And one night there's 2 zombies that wake up. There's not a lot of blood in it. In fact, whenever they kill a zombie or cut its head off, it's kind of like a puff of black dust that comes up instead of blood. Could they not afford blood? I don't know. Just a really poor movie. But again, you got to watch it. You've got to watch it. You've got to watch it. The Dead Don't Die on Netflix, because you just have to see how fucked up it is that they can have someone like Bill Murray just play such a shit film. That, and what was the other one? The Devil Below. In the name of Christ, man. That in itself was laughable as well. Just the special effects in it. Long story short, it's a mine that's been shut down in, again, a fucking rural town in buttfuck America. And there's some kind of demon that lives inside the fucking mine. And it attacks the guy's son, takes him, kills him, eats him, does whatever he does to him. And they shut the mine down. And then it's almost as if the mine doesn't exist. And the people who worked in the mine now then protect the mine so that nobody else goes in it, and anything that tries to come out, they kill it. And a group of adventurers, let's call them, turn up, and they think that they've the mine itself is dug a gateway to hell, and they're going to go down and find out what's going on. And then, as you can imagine, the things come out and fucking capture them, and it's just garbage. Special effects are terrible, the storyline's terrible, and you're thinking, how does this stuff get made? That's always the thing that amazes me. How does this stuff get made? Maybe we're all just running out of ideas. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're at the point where we've done everything we can. We've created everything that we can. Maybe we just need a reset. Maybe that COVID was meant to be that reset. Maybe this was a great idea. Maybe COVID was very forward thinking of the world's governments. Maybe they all got together in Wuhan. They had a fucking lovely, a nice dinner. They went out for a lovely chicken noodle soup. They had the old boba tea, and they sat down and they went, look, life's kind of shit now, right? Cryptocurrency's taking off. Nobody really understands it. We don't know who we have to kill to control it. Some of the fucking people who were once in the group are now escaping, and they're starting to snitch on paedophiles. We can't keep killing Epsteins, because who else we're going to go and fuck kids on the island? We need these kind of people. And the world politicians and the world's leading minds sat down and went, right, listen, we're going to release a virus, we're going to kill a few million people, we're going to have a reset. Okay? Couple of years in the house, reprogramming people's mind, and let's go again. Maybe that's what it was. But instead we just keep churning out all this fucking shite movies that we can't watch. The dead don't die. I wish they would, but they don't. Get it on Netflix. Watch it. Experience the pain that I went through. The dead don't die. Oh God, what a fucking awful film. Right. This is something I want to talk about. And when I first heard about it, it kind of blew my mind. Now, I think it's been out for a few months. I've got an article here from May. So, this guy's obviously been posting this stuff for a while. Long story short, I heard about this on another podcast, and it was kind of briefly mentioned. And then when I was trying to think of what they were saying, I was like, is this real or can't? I mean, obviously, is it real? Let's talk about it. I don't know. But it blew my mind, right? So, long story short, there is a guy on TikTok. Now, straight away, because it says TikTok, I was dubious to start with, right? I'm going, it's a hoax, whatever it is, it's not real. Okay, but then when you start to think of it a bit more, TikTok, you know, a Chinese company, maybe there's another coronavirus coming, Corona 2.0, that's going to be a bit stronger. Maybe TikTok is the only thing that survives on the social media spectrum for the real apocalypse. I don't know, because maybe COVID, we're all thinking that COVID's going to end soon. Maybe this is just the start of the apocalypse. Maybe this is the tester to see what they can get away with. You know, maybe this is the power, the lizard people. You know, the Epsteins of the world. Maybe this is them testing the water to see what they can get away with. Because we all thought that the apocalypse is coming, and if they told people to stay in the house and cut yourself off with society, about there'd be revolutions in the street. And the reality is that it's nothing like that at all. People just do as they're fucking told. As long as they've got Deliveroo and fucking Amazon Prime, people don't give a fuck. You know, there could be folk dying in the street. They could stop you getting married. They could stop you going to your granny's burial. They don't give a fuck, man. You can get 5 guys and you can watch every episode of Seinfeld. People don't care. That's the truth. But this guy. Oh, this guy, when I heard about it. Right, so, long story short, a man claims that he had COVID. Right? Nothing sensational there. He went to hospital to be treated for COVID. Again, nothing sensational. However, when he woke up the next day after being in the hospital, not only was he cured of COVID, but he was alone in the hospital. There was no staff. There was no patients. And not only was he alone in a hospital with no staff and no patients, he was now in the year 2027 and trapped in a parallel universe. Yes, that's right. You heard what I said. A guy had COVID, went to hospital, and he woke up in 2027 trapped in a parallel universe where no other human exists now. You might know about it, you might not, right? This guy had apparently shared footage before of him being in a street with no one else, right? A deserted street. He has recently put up videos of him in McDonald's. I'm trying to find his link here. Now, the guy's Twitter name is his TikTok, or his handle is at Unico Sobrevivente. Now, Spanish, right? Which for me is adding a little bit to it. Because if this guy was American, right, I'd be going, this is bollocks. But it's the fact that, it's the fact that he's, I don't know, does it add to the fact that he's Spanish and it's in a Spanish town? It does add to it a wee bit. So, let's just go back over the facts, right? Had COVID. Woke up in a hospital. Hospital is deserted, empty. Walks the streets. Streets are empty, deserted. And he claims it's the year 2027 and mankind doesn't exist in this universe that he's in. Now, it's not saying that the human race has been wiped out. The idea is that he's trapped in a parallel universe. Now, as soon as I've told anybody this, it's nonsense, it's bollocks, it's rubbish, but let me just say for a minute, what if it is real? What if it is real, right? Now, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just saying, what if it is possible? Are we naive to think that we are alone in this world? That there isn't another life form out there, or there isn't another universe, or there isn't another dimension that exists? Would we be naive to think that that isn't the case? I'm trying to find these articles here. So, a man who claims to be a time traveller from 2027 has said he's stuck in a parallel universe where there are no people or animals. Classic journalism, they've put, bad luck, pal. Now, listen, if this turns out to be fake, and I'm probably sure, I'm 70% sure it is fake, right? Then fucking fair play to the boy. Because however he has done this, it is phenomenal. Whatever Netflix studios, I saw a thing today that Steven Spielberg's apparently signed a deal with Netflix to give them 2 films a year. Maybe that'll be fucking decent stuff for us to watch. If this turns out as being a hoax, whatever major fucking Hollywood studio, they need to find this guy and give him $1 billion, because if this is fake, he is one of the greatest filmmakers that's ever fucking existed. How difficult must it be to film an empty street, to film an empty restaurant, to film... There's one point when he goes, somebody messages him and says, go to a car garage. He goes into a Mercedes dealership, gets a car, drives a car, and you're seeing all this footage, and there is not a single person, not a sign of life. There's not a bird in the sky, there's not a dog in the street, a squirrel in a tree, there's nothing. It is emptiness. It literally is as if the world exists without life of any kind. Somebody at one point says to him, go to a supermarket. Now, on one of the things I was listening to, there was a guy on who is I don't know what the technical term for it is, but he basically finds locations for film shoots. And he is talking you through things like popular places like Times Square in New York, and he's saying the cost and time involved in shutting down Times Square is insane. They were talking about I Am Legend and how the budget for that film was so fucking vast, yet the only really, main actor in it is Will Smith. So it's breaking down other films, costs, how much they're paying actors, how much they're paying staff, blah, 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 blah. And then depending on locations, how much it costs to shut down a location. So if you were to film somewhere where it's populated or recognisable, like Times Square, for example, there'd be certain times throughout the day where you could do it and couldn't do it, and there would be a cost involved. And that cost would be millions of dollars. But yet somehow this guy is able to create endless amount of films, endless amount of clips, where places are completely deserted. How does he do it? People are saying green screen. I mean, in the name of fuck, what, is he just getting everybody to dress up in a green suit? How does he do it? How does he go into a supermarket, which is one of the people suggests it, right? He goes to a supermarket and he picks up what seems like random items. Now, I can argue that it could be planned, it could be placed, it could be thought out, it could be scripted. He knows what things to pick up. But every item that he picks up, the expiration date on it is March 2027. How does he do it? Again, I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying there is a man who somehow woke up and he's now trapped in a parallel universe in the year is 2027 and no other human race or existence of life is around him. But what if it is true? The man who previously shared footage showing human extinction in 2027. Now, this is where it becomes sensationalised for the paper, because at no point, from what I can see, The guy claims that there is the human race is extinct by 2027. He's claiming that he's in a parallel universe where no other human exists other than himself. So there could very, very well be, I mean, if anybody's watched Community, for God's sake, there could very well be endless alternative universes out there. There's that whole fucking with the sliding door thing. Whenever you make a decision in life, you know, you go one way or the other, that your life continues on the opposite decision that you made in a parallel universe. That may well possibly be the case. You know, we'll go on about death in a minute, but is it completely beyond our realms of imagination to think that another universe or several universes don't exist at the same time as the current one we're in? I don't know, man. Posted a new clip to TikTok account which he describes how he woke up in hospital and is now somewhere the only sentient being left on the face of the earth. In the clip, the TikToker who uses the name Unicos Vivente writes, I woke up alone in hospital in Valencia. I couldn't remember my name or where I lived. I decided to go outside and there were no people. Everything was like in 2021, but the electronic devices showed 2027. Now, one of the theories behind it that I heard was that he has gone out during the first lockdown and he has compiled a vast amount of stock footage, right? So he's gone into empty streets, he's went for a walk, you know, and he's filmed a lot of footage and stored it, waiting to launch this account in order to get the exposure that he's getting. My argument to that would be, during the first lockdown, everything was locked down. Everything. He couldn't go into a McDonald's that's empty. He couldn't go into a car garage that's empty. He couldn't go into a supermarket that's empty, because everything was locked down. And even in the occasions when you did go to a supermarket, it was full of people, because it's the only place that people could go and it's the only place you could get food. It wasn't fucking empty. And not even empty, abandoned. So how does he do it, man? It says here, I discovered that there was a connection between 2021 and 2027. People in 2021 could see the objects I left in the city, but people couldn't see me and I couldn't see them. A few days ago, I found a letter telling me that I am the GESP 8827 experiment. I come from 2027. I am now in a parallel world, 2021, without people or animals. Oh, fuck's sake. The clip shares footage of the city looking like a ghost town as he heads to stadiums, art galleries and a shop without another person in sight. Fellow TikTok users have urged the time traveller to prove it with one post and go live and walk in the streets and shops, don't show videos. Another suggested a bit of criminal damage, post and go to a public place, hospital, airport, shopping centre, museum and break the biggest window you see. If you are really alone, you can't get into trouble. Well, someone else had an even better idea, asking, can you show the results of the lottery in 2021 through internet searches? Apparently in one of the videos, which I haven't seen, he does go to an airport and he walks through the airport and it's completely empty. I just don't know how it's done. You know, I would just love to know how it's done. The thing is, when you're watching, I don't really know how to describe it to you, but there's a difference between watching something that has no people in it and watching something that feels abandoned. And that's what the videos feel like. It doesn't feel as if he has walked into a shop, you know, and everybody's standing behind the camera kind of thing. Right, listen guys, right, look, I'm gonna go in there, right, and I'm gonna make a burger, right, and then I'm gonna post it and tell every cunt that I went into McDonald's and there was nobody in McDonald's, so you all need to stand behind the camera, right? It doesn't feel like that. It generally feels as if the places are abandoned, and not abandoned in a way that, like, there's been an apocalypse or there's been like a war or a fight or a riot. It feels as though people just don't exist there. That's what it feels like. And I know I'm going mad. Maybe it's lockdown. But maybe it is real. What if this guy is trapped in another parallel universe? In a previous upload, Javier, his name is Javier, wrote, I just woke up in the hospital, I don't know about it, I'm fine, that's okay. Today's the 13th of February 2027 in Alumina City. I mean, what? Do you know what a fucking great post as well. Imagine just stumbling across that on social media. Today is the 13th of February 2027 and I am alone in the city. He added, humanity has been extinct. There is no one in shopping centres. And it's just a video of him going through just abandoned shops. Not abandoned, just... It's so hard to explain because abandoned would make it feel as if, you know, there had been people there and somehow an event happened which they left or they ran or they fled or they were white to it. And it's not that at all. It's almost as if the world as you know it, as we know it, the world that we are in right now, exists without other humans or animals. It's so weird, man. I mean, the ones that he films in shops could be staged, but the ones that are in the streets, even the ones I'm watching one just now where he's on a beach, to have no birds in the sky, nothing at all. It's so strange, man. It's so eerie. So one of the things, and there's obviously different Reddit posts and pages dedicated to this, but the idea of, you know, parallel universes and do they exist or could they exist? What would they be? Would the human race exist within it? Would we exist within it? Is there a different version of us within it? Is that idea of a parallel universe or another dimension really what heaven and hell is? And you can fall down all these fucking rabbit holes. But there was one that was discussing that my missus actually told me about. And it is a guy who had died. Now, in the post, he had said that he wasn't going to reference too much or talk about the circumstances in which led him to being hospitalised. But I imagine from the way that the post went, he had tried to take his own life. And either had been found or had been discovered in time and had been taken to hospital, but had died, and then was resuscitated, brought back, and had recovered. And in his post about it, and in his post about the idea of death or what he sees, he was talking about this idea of your life flashing before your eyes, and the kind of concept of what some people are describing as the prominent memories that you have rushing to the front of your brain. And whether that is your body, you know, closing down or your mind shutting off and you see these snapshots, I don't know. But he described the idea of not seeing a light, but feeling as though he was moving towards a light. And the light, as he describes it, being like a star. This is getting so even as I'm saying this, I'm saying to myself, what the fuck are you talking about, Gibble? But stick with me here. So the idea being that when you see a star in the sky or a galaxy, whatever, because we have seen things like emojis or an actual physical star or a star in the tree, we assume that a star is an individual thing shaped like a star. That's a star, but it's effectively a collection of light. And as you get closer to them, you may see that it's thousands, millions, billions, whatever fragments of light that make up this one thing in the night sky that you associate as being a star. And the idea that he writes about going towards the light or seeing a light as you die is your consciousness, whether you want to call it your soul or whatever you want to call it, returning to that light. So there is not religion, there is not a God, there is not a heaven, there is not a hell, but we are in fact all one consciousness, born, created, derived from each other, existing together, arguably on different paths or different ideas or different philosophies, again, whether it be religious or whether it be cultural. But in the end, when you die, when your physical body dies, your consciousness, your soul returns to that light, to that source, to that original point of consciousness. Honestly, as I'm saying this, I'm just thinking, am I fucking stoned, man? Am I out my bin now? This feels like a house party. This feels like a house party in the early 2000s. No, what it is, mate, right, here, listen, right? You know how all the stars in the sky... No, listen to me, man. You're always fucking interrupting me. You know how all the stars in the sky, right? All that is all the fucking deed cunts, man, right? Listen, see everybody that's ever died? That's the stars in the sky, man. That's why there's billions of them, right? Everybody that's ever died is in the sky. It's your consciousness, man, right? No, listen, so, see when you die, right? You know how everyone's like, you walk towards the light, Franco? Well, that is you returning to your state of being as a consciousness. Know what I mean? So he describes walking towards the light or moving towards the light as he says he could physically feel his consciousness returning to whatever it is, right? Now, what if, and just bear with me here for a minute, right? What if there are a number of parallel universes, other dimensions that exist for each and every one of us? Every single time that you have made a decision, whatever decision you went with, another dimension exists in the opposite decision that you made at that time and continues to play out. What if that is a possibility? And what if when you die, that your consciousness simply re-emerges at a point further down your story and continues on a different path from where you originally went? What the fuck are you talking about? Maybe that's the circle of life, no? That Elton John talking about, remember? We all thought the circle of life was like lions and fucking tigers and all that, but maybe it is when you die, you just, like snakes and ladders, man. Life is a game of snakes and ladders. And when you die, you go back down to a point in your life where you made a key decision in your life, and your new existence, your new consciousness lives out that dimension. Eh? Fuck's sake. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I liked watching the videos. I liked trying to think how he did something. I like seeing things explained. It doesn't take away anything from it. It's like when people used to watch these magic shows and it's like, magic explained. And what happens is there's actually a midget under the table and he passes up the Johnnies. That stuff never bothered me. I know people used to go, I don't want to watch that. I want to believe that it's all magic, and I like to know what. I just like to see the illusion. I don't need to know how it works. No, I want to know how the fuck did he do that? I want to know how it works. So I think that's the problem here. I just want to know, are you trapped in 2027? Because listen, I'm fucking willing to believe. I believe, man. I believe. Just prove it to me. And it does feel as if there are so many people even when you speak to someone about it, even when I says to the missus, she was giving me, what about this and what about that and what about that? I says, everyone is looking for reasons not to accept that this is a possibility. Everyone is willing to give you reasons about it. Could be green screen. He could have done this during the first lockdown. It's stock footage. It's heavily edited. But no one's willing to sit for a minute and go, right, all right, listen, I fully take all that on board. But what if there is a chance that it's real? What would you do, man? What would you do? You went to the fucking hospital, you know, you've not had a shite in 4 days, you think something's wrong with you, you've got COVID, they give you a jag, you fall asleep, you wake up, it's 2027, and not another bastard exists, and you're in Valencia. But like, in the name of fuck, man, the NHS is slipping. I clapped for the bastards, and this is how they repay me. What would you do? You'd go mad. I think I could do do you know what? I think I'd maybe be alright. As long as I can get fed. As long as I can find food, I'm alright. I mean, there's no animals. I can't go out fucking hunting squirrels. So as long as I can get a few tins, I'll be alright. What a fuck? You be like, this is a fucking shite dimension. This is maybe he's got to get COVID again. Maybe he's got to travel to Wuhan, get COVID, become ill, and then he'll wake up back in 2021 again. Maybe COVID is the key. Maybe it's like some kind of it changes like your molecular structure so you can travel through time. Oh my God! Maybe that's what it is. Maybe COVID is the start of time travel. Oh man, sitting here doing podcasts, and this poor fucker's trapped in 2027. Somehow his internet still works on TikTok. But that's the thing. He's not trapped in the future. He's just trapped in another dimension. You know, this is too much. This is too much to take in on a Wednesday morning. It's too much. Anyway, whoever it is, I will be watching, and I hope he's alright. Poor guy, man. I'd go mad. I'd go mad. In saying that, if I was trapped, me and the tour manager, I'd be okay. If I had to duck. But if you were alone, man, you would go mental. I think a lot of people in their heads thought again, because of the zombie movies, I Am Legend, I think a lot of people thought that's what COVID was going to be like. And it isn't at all. I just love the fact that somebody's went online and went, listen guys, I'm trapped in 2027 in another dimension. Is there any way you can help me? You're talking shite, mate. Go and smash your fucking window, then I'll believe you. As if that's the way to prove. You'd fucking mad Stephen Hawking for years talking about black holes and fucking all sorts of nonsense. You know? One of the smartest men on the planet. If not, one of the smartest people that's ever existed, sitting down fucking black holes and stuff gets sucked into the universe, and, there's different dimensions and whatnot. Can you imagine if we got Stevie? Hawking. I don't even know what Stephen Hawking's nickname would have been in the labs. Gadget Man. Twitcher. As I called him, Twitcher. There's a boy on the phone saying he's trapped in another dimension, 2027. Put him through. That's just Stephen Hawking. Go ahead. Stevie boy, what it is, mate, right? Are you plugged into the fucking chair? Have you got that wee thing in your eye? Had COVID, my man. Woke up in Valencia, 2027. No other human exists or animals from what I can see. I'm trapped in another dimension. Think Stephen Hawking's going to turn and say, right, what I want you to do is go to an airport and smash the biggest window you can find. Then you'll prove that you're alone and you're in another dimension. I don't think so. But that's what people want, man. That's what people want. How long have I been saying it for? Extreme violence is the answer. I've only got myself to blame. I didn't think extreme violence was going to be the answer to are you trapped in a parallel universe, but it seems as though that is the case. But have you, if you're listening to this, and I hope you are, I hope by 2027 this podcast has become semi-successful. There's more chance of somebody being trapped in another fucking dimension than this podcast getting the success I think it deserves. But if you are listening, Javier, I hope you're doing well, mate. Stay safe, brother. We're coming for you. I mean, we're not coming for you. Nobody's coming for you. You're going to have to find a way back. I mean, also, see if you did wake up. Right, here's the other thing. See if you woke up tomorrow and there was not a bastard about. Not a bird in the sky, not a fucking fish in the ocean. You are alone, my brother. See if I saw another human, I'd kill them. I'd fucking murder the bastard. You'd be terrified. Your first reaction would not be, oh my God, another human, please. What is your name? Tell me your story. Your first reaction would be, who the fuck is this cunt? You'd think somebody was sent to kill you. It's like people in the other dimension who are like, is playing a game. This is actually what's happened. Technology has become so advanced that rich Japanese and American and Russian probably billionaires and Chinese, they have managed to create a virtual reality that feels so real and so lifelike that you believe you have awoken in another dimension. And then they go into the game like Running Man and try and hunt and kill. Hold on a minute, Gibble, we've nailed it! This is like a modern day Running Man, Tom Cruise sex island. That's what this is. This is advanced AI. This is advanced technology, graphics, sensory. These are putting people... This guy's sitting in a tank now, being kept alive by a machine. And he thinks that he's trapped in 2027 in a parallel universe. And the reality is that there's people sitting in a fucking riverboat casino in Glasgow making bets on the next guy that's going to get in there and try and chop his legs off with a chainsaw. That's what's happening. I'd still take my chances. I'd say you better get tooled up quick, mate, because whoever's coming for you, they're coming to take you down. So if you do wake up in a parallel universe or another dimension, whatever year it may be, remember, anybody you come across is an enemy and you need to kill them before they kill you. That's my advice. That and travel light. Travel light and have stock up in tins. Doomsday Prepper. Doomsday Prepper meets Battle Royale. That's what you want. Right, let's wrap this up. Thanks for listening, team, as always. Share it, subscribe, hit that fucking smash the bell. We don't have a bell, but smash it. Hey, listen, find a bell and smash that bell. Be like the cool kids. Subscribe to the podcast. It's available on every single podcast player. You can get it on Acast as well, Spotify, iTunes. Share it in your socials. Encourage people to listen. And get in touch, man. Drop us a message. Facebook, Instagram. Go to the website, bigscottgibson.com. Sign up to the mailing list. And just sit back and enjoy life, man. If you want to get some extra content, you want to listen to some comedy albums, hours and hours of extra podcasts are available on the Patreon. So go to patreon.com/Big Scott Gibson. That's patreon.com/Big Scott Gibson. Do that and unlock those goodies. Right, that's us. Stay safe. Look after yourself, team, and wash your hands in your arsehole. And I'll hopefully see you in a battlefield very soon. I will be speaking to those of you on the Patreon over the weekend, and I'll be back next Wednesday with another podcast. So until then, stay safe. All the best. Again, as always, a prolonged end. There doesn't need to be a prolonged end. Right, music's on. That's us. All the best. Speak to you next week. Onwards.